Hello, everyone. I guess that you can hear me. I am Daniela from Follow the Camino. While we wait for this minute until all the attendees join, um, I would like you to I would ask you to, if you have any question, put it in the chat box and let me know, and we'll be able to help you while we wait for the rest of the attendees. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me, if it's okay on your side, or if you can't, just let me know also. Great, thank you for that. Great, I've seen a lot of hands up, a lot of thumbs ups. Okay, thank you all for joining this webinar, the webinar that we have prepared for the lesser known routes. Um, I am Daniela. I've been working with the company for the past year, and now I'm in charge of this webinar. And I want to give you as much as information as I can about this lesser known routes and about some other topics. Right. I would like to know if you can send some information about your plans, if you are willing to do the Camino, or if you have done any route before. Let me know. You can write it in the chat, and I would like to know your thoughts about the Camino and everything. Okay, just to 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 make this a little bit more dynamic and to get to know you a little better. Are you okay? Do you all see my screen? Is everything okay? If it's okay, we can start. Well, this is what the agenda for today. This is what we'll cover. What is the Camino? The lesser known routes of the Camino. What to expect from us? What to pack? The training kit, the training list, all the logistic information, and of course, we're going to have some questions and answer at the end. But as I said before, if you have any question, you can write it in the chat or in the questions and answer box, and we will be sorting them out as well as the webinar moves on. Okay, click here. Well, this is basically what we are in charge of. We will be helping you discovering and adjusting your preferences towards the route according to your preference, your the time that you have to do the trail, your preference towards a route. We will be supporting you selecting the type of accommodation that you want. We will give you a hand with the luggage transfers because we take care of the luggage transfer that will be on our side, unless you prefer to carry your own luggage, which it's better if you leave it with us. We also have the holiday bag, so we provide you with all the necessary things such as the pilgrim passport, the luggage tags for you to attach to each luggage. We have a mobile app, the walking notes that are detailed for each route. And well, we have a 24/7 emergency phone number in the case that you need it. While you're doing the Camino, you can contact that number, and any of us will be able to help you, and we will address you with your concern or your doubt or anything that you might need. You can call us, not only to the emergency phone number, but if you need any type of support before your trip, such as now that you're participating in this webinar, you can contact us, you can call us, you can pop us an email, and we'll be able to walk you through the different doubts that you have. Okay. Well, a little bit of history of the Camino. I'm going to be super brief with this, as I want to move on with the routes which you're most interested in this. Um, I'm not sure if you all know about this, but Santiago was one of the 12 apostles. He was preaching Christianity along Europe and mainly in Galicia in Spain. And there's a lot of legend and a lot of histories and a lot of tales that goes around St. James history itself. The legend said that the king here executed him, as you can see here in this picture. So his followers wanted to bring him back, and then that's where the pilgrimage kind of started. It's from the 18th century, where the remains of St. James were found. And there was the first guidebook ever written about the pilgrimage of the French way, because the first ever guidebook written was only for the French way. It was written by a monk and it was called Codex Calixtinus. I had that unwritten because I don't remember the name, and for me it's hard to pronounce it. But if you want to dig a little deeper about the history of the Camino, there's a lot of different routes and a lot of things to know regarding the history. Okay, but just this is a super brief explanation about it. This is, as you can see, the different routes that we have for the Camino today. As you can see here, the red one is the Le Puy way, the yellow one is the French way, the complete one. The pink one, it's the Le Puy way. The blue one here, it's the Portuguese one, the Portuguese way. And here in the violet one, it's the Portuguese coastal. Here you have the northern way and the original way, or Camino Primitivo, right? This is the Camino today. This is some information in percentages that we have. As you can see, the numbers are more or less the same for 2022. For 2022, we had more or less 95% of pilgrims that did the Camino walking and 5% cycling. And on the past year, the percentages were more or less the same. The routes, as you can see, were mainly the same. The most selected ones are the French way, then the Portuguese one, and the Portuguese coastal. However, the past year, in 2023, the Portuguese coastal gained a little bit more of popularity, right? And as for today, this is the number of pilgrim certificates that have been handed for this year. The exact number, of course, it's not yet finished. These are the routes that we'll cover today. That I know that there are a lot of other routes um, that are for the Camino that exist in different other countries, but these are the lesser known routes that we'll cover today. First one is the Portuguese route, then the Portuguese coastal, then the English way, then the North way, the Camino Primitivo or original way, then the Finisterre way, the Via de la Plata, the Le Puy way, the winter way or Camino de Invierno, and finally the Camino dos Faros, which is not a route itself, but it kind of is. So these are the ones that we will cover. And well, of course, I will start with the most popular one, just to give you like a brief introduction about it. As you can see here, it's the French way. The complete route has 8 different sections, and the first one starts in France in Saint Jean Pied de Port. It will take you to walk it more or less 34 walking days without adding any extra night. And the first and most challenging day is the very first one because you will be crossing the Pyrenees, and this is the popular one, the most popular one of all, as you can see on the as you could see in the previous slides that I was showing you the numbers. And you will be walking by smaller cities, smaller towns, but also you will be walking by Pamplona, Logroño, Burgos, Sahagún, León, Ponferrada, Sarria, and of course Santiago. Those towns that you see here in the yellow arrows here, the small yellow arrows, are the stop of the finishing or the starting points of each section, right? Usually, most of the starting or finishing sections are in the bigger cities, right? Well, here you can see the complete route, the terrain, the different altitude in the terrain, and all the stops during along all the Camino, right? As you can see, this route it's pretty doable. It's not difficult. The first day, it's the one that has like a higher peak in altitude, but then the rest, it's quite good. And once you're arriving into Santiago, the terrain goes a little bit down. So if you train enough, you will be okay by getting by doing the complete route or only a section, right? If not, if you have any doubt, you can of course ask us. Here are some pictures about the different landscapes and different places that you will see. This is in Puente la Reina, and this is the first section. This is another portion of the trip. As you can see, this is part of the landscape that you will see and part of the terrain that you will walk by. This might be the hardest type of terrain that you will walk by on the French way. So you don't need to worry that much about the difficulty in the terrain because this will be the hardest that you will find. But after that, it will be as the previous picture as this one, and also you will have historical places. This is a winery that you can fill your bottle with wine if you like, of course, or you can fill your bottle of water with water, of course. Um, and here you can see some distances from the French way to different other places in the world or in Europe. And mainly, this is another castle. You will pass by a lot of places like this, not only in the French route, but in some other routes. So my recommendation would be to take some pictures in these places, ask the locals about that type of historical places, and don't miss to ask around what the mystery about the places, right? You will also see a lot of milestones marking the Camino with the yellow sculpt, and this is also part of the landscape that you will be seeing. This is another part of the landscape. As you can see, the terrain is quite the same. Might have some rocks or some other things or landscapes, but this is mainly the the basic. This is people arriving to one of the towns. As you can see, some people are alone, some people are in groups or in pairs, but this is for everyone, so everyone can do it with a little bit of training. Of course, here is people taking a picture with each other, cherishing that they have accomplished a portion of the trip. So as well as you're also going to do. Well, is there any questions so far? Is there something that you want to ask? Is there something that you want to add? Please do not hesitate to raise your hand, to write something in the chat, or to write the question and everything. Let me see. Okay, I see like a lot of questions here. I'm going to move on to the Portuguese one. I see that there's a lot of questions about the Portuguese one. Well, this is the Portuguese complete route. As you can see, it starts in Lisbon and finishes in Santiago. It has only 5 different stages. This one from Porto to Santiago goes inland. It will take you more or less 30 days to do the walking, and that it's not super difficult. As I said before, most of the routes are super doable. You just need to start your training, your walking training, and that's it. The most popular section of this route it's the section from Tu to Santiago, which is the last 100 kilometers. Here you can see the difference in the altitude. You may see that here it has some peaks, but some altitude marks, but the altitude itself is less than 500 meters. So you will be more than fine. And you will be passing by Lisbon and Porto, and they're the most important cities in Portugal. So you will be okay. This route goes by different woods, some vineyards, which I recommend to visit, and a lot of historical towns. Of course, olive groves also, if you visit the vineyard, also take some good food there. You will also be walking through different ancient paths, so try to enjoy as many things as you can in every single stage that you decide to walk. It will be, I'm not sure if I said this before, it will be 27 walking days without any extra night here. And without having any challenging training, you will be able to walk it because it's pretty easy, right? This is the type of landscape that you will see in this route. As you can see, there's a lot of roads and a lot of boardwalks. This is one of the historical places that you will walk by. This is a picture of one of the cities. If you decide to start in Lisbon or in Porto, you can take this traditional tramway in either of the towns, which has its charm and its history. So I highly recommend you to do it. This is also, I know it's people accomplishing that they made it, but this is part of the landscape that you will also see in this route. Okay. Any particular doubt? It's there's something that you would like to add for the complete Portuguese route, or I know that you're writing a lot of information here, um, but I'll go over the pinned questions a little bit later. Moving on, then there is another lesser known route that it's gaining a lot of popularity in these years. It's the Portuguese coastal that has only two stages. It will take you no more than 12 walking days without any extra night. And the most popular section is from Oia to Santiago. Of course, if you do the most popular sections for any route, you will be doing the last 100 kilometers of the Camino, so you will gain the pilgrim certificate, right? This applies for the Portuguese coastal, the Portuguese one, or the French way, right? It has only two stages. I think I didn't say that before. This is the type of terrain that you will be walking by. It's mostly boardwalk, and you will be seeing the the sea on the other side. As you can see here, the terrain, it's not super high. It's less than 300 meters, and it's super flat and super easy to do it because it doesn't imply you to be super trained to do it. Only practice on a daily walk. That's the main thing. This is the type of view that you will have mainly every day. So if you're a fan of the ocean and you like the to visit different beaches and everything, I would highly recommend you to start with this route. This is some other portion of the trail. As you can see, it is well marked. You will find the yellow arrow in different places, such as milestones, or as you can see it here, these are the boardwalk. This is mainly another picture that shows the most regular view that you will have, the most popular view that you will have daily. These are some pilgrims that took that are taking some pictures in this bridge next to a historic building. Oh, sorry. And well, mainly this is it. It's pretty nice, and as I said before, it's a quite easy road if you have only 2 weeks long to do it. I will encourage you to start thinking about this one. Okay. Well, moving on, we have the English way. As you can see, the English way it has only one stage. It starts here from Ferrol to Santiago. It's only one stage, so if you just select to do this one, you will be granted the last 100 kilometers. You will get the pilgrim certificate by doing this one, and it's short. It will only take you 5 days without adding any extra stop here. This is the terrain that you will see. As you might see that here it's more hilly, but actually the altitude it's not super high because it's less than 500 meters and you will be okay. Most of the, well, here you kind of have a mix because you have a little bit of countryside and some coast, right? Because it starts in the coast and then it goes like inland while it heads up to Santiago. It is hilly itself here, as you can see in this portion, in this day, from day 3 to day 4, but it is still doable. It's not something difficult to finish. Okay, this is the view from Ferrol, if I'm not wrong. This is the type of landscape that you will visit. As you can see, you have this road here, you have this milestone. This is some other view that you will have. You kind of have both, right? As I said before, you have like the inland portion and then the hilly coast at the beginning. This is people that have already arrived to one of the sections, to one of the towns, and of course they are cherishing that they have already finished. Moving on, we have the Northern Way. As you can see here, you will see two different colors. The Northern Way, which is this one from San Sebastián to Oviedo, and then the Northern Way merges the Primitivo Way that starts in Oviedo to Santiago. The Northern Way starts in San Sebastián, has 4 different stages. It will take you no longer than 23 days of walking without adding any extra stop, and the most popular section is from Bilbao to Santander. Okay, this is the terrain that you will have. It's quite flat. As you can see, there are some peaks in the altitude, but they are not super high. I insist, it's still less than 500 meters. You need to be a little fitness for this, or at least better trained. But that's it. It is still doable. Here in the Camino del Norte, you kind of have a mix because you have bigger cities and also you have some nice beaches and some quiet places. So you have green hills, flat beaches, and cities. So you kind of have a mix. So if you're looking for something like that, I would suggest you to start thinking in any section of this Camino. This is the type of places that you will visit. This is the type of beaches that you can see. This is the type of cities. As you can see, you can have some mountains, some cities, and it's like a mix of both. So you kind of have a little bit of everything in this Camino, right? This is some other pictures, some other beaches, and in this picture, I believe that you can see the different mix. You can have a little bit of mountain, a little bit of historical places, and also some beaches to relax a little bit after the walking. So I think that this picture is the one that shows it clearly. Well, moving on to the original way, is the one that the Camino del Norte merges with. As you can see, it has only 2 different stages. It will take you more or less 16 walking days without adding any extras. And the most popular stage is the stage from Lugo to Santiago, which is the second stage of this section. This one has more of Roman influences. So just for you to be aware of what you will see in terms of historic places and places to visit along the Camino, right? As you can see here, this one it's more the altitude it's higher. It starts low, but then it goes a little bit up. It in it you will need more training for this one, basically because of the different types of the terrain, because you will have more hills, more loose rocks in the path, and also some forests. So you kind of have a mix. Just for you to know, this the first stage of this Camino can be a little bit more solitary than the others. Okay, but still, despite saying here that you will that it required a minimum difficulty, you can still do it. It's not that it's super complicated. No, it's doable. You'll be fine. Here's some people having some rest after doing some hours of walking. This is the Roman wall in Lugo. I'm a particular fan of this because if you're also looking for some places that meet some modern places and some historical places, you can also find it in this second section, as well as in the northern way. You kind of have both, right? This is some part of the landscape that you will see. This is another part of the landscape that you will see in these two sections of the Primitivo Way. This is a church. You will pass by, you will walk by a lot of different churches and a lot of different historical buildings, such as this. I know that this one looks pretty small, but there's a lot of others that you will be able to see. Of course, you have this type of landscape, um, and well, that's it. Moving on to the Finisterre Way, this one it's a little bit shorter. It will take you 6 days, and it's the only one that starts in Santiago and ends in Finisterre or Fisterra. You can call it either way; it's the same. It's a little bit less than 100 kilometers, and it's not that complicated to walk. Right. This is the altitude map and the distance from Santiago to Finisterre. As you can see, you might think that this is super high in terms of terrain, but actually the altitude it's less than 500 meters, so you will be fine with this. And once you're walking towards Finisterre, the terrain goes quite low, so you will be okay. As you can see, it is hilly itself, but it is okay. It's doable. It's not complicated to do. You will walk by different Pinterest town, small town, but um, you will have a lot of once you get to Finisterre and you visit, see the this one and Finisterre in the end. There's a lot of western and cliffs around that you can visit, and this is the lighthouse that you will see. This is the milestone with the 0 kilometers there, and the yellow scalp that you will also see there. This is the part of the view that you will have that you will see once you arrive to Finisterre. So, as you might know, the Finisterre was known as the end of the world a lot of years ago, centuries ago, actually. Well, finally, we have the Via de la Plata. I'm also quite fan of this one. This is the longest one and the most challenging one. It has 10 different stages. It's a start in the south of Spain and goes up to Santiago. It will take you more than 40 days of walking, and it has more than 1,000 kilometers trail. The most popular section is the last 100 kilometers from Orense to Santiago. So this section it's the most popular one. And yes, for this one, you need to be in a really good shape. It's the toughest one to do. It's the most challenging to do, and it's full of history because you will be passing basically through all Spain from south to north. So it's It has a lot of different things. As you can see here in this map, yes, in this one you can see that the altitude it's super high. I'm not sure if you are able to see this number. It says 1,355 meters. That is the highest altitude that this route has. And in this one, you will walk through farmlands, rugged mountains. In a portion, you have like a really plain. This part here, it's quite plain. But yes, I insist if you're planning to do this, you need to be really well trained for only one section or for the complete Villa de la Plata. But I insist if you also like the history of different civilizations and everything, I would recommend you to do one part of this Camino. This is the type of terrain that you will walk by, and this is the landscape that you will see. This is some other landscape that you will be walking by in this route, as well as this. So you can see that in this route, you will have like a mix of cultures and a mix of different other things, architecture and all that. This is some other landscape that you will see, some other historical places. If you're planning to do this, please don't miss these places. This is in the section from Sevilla to Monasterio. This is the very first section. And this is some other villages that you will be walking by. Okay. I'm not sure if any of you have done any of this section of the Villa de la Plata. You can pop it here in the chat or in the questions and answer. Um, Feel free to add everything that you feel that can be added. Okay. Okay. Now we have the Le Puy Way. The Le Puy Way starts and finishes in France, and it merges in Saint Jean Pied de Port to the beginning of the French Way. This one starts in Le Puy en Velay or Le Puy en Velay. Belay. Not sure. You need to pardon my pronunciation. It has six different stages. It will take you no longer than 30 days of walking, and it's 732 kilometers long, more or less. The most popular section is the very first one from Le Puy to Aumont-Aubrac, and that will be the most popular ones, right? This is the type of terrain that you will be walking by. The highest terrain that you will walk by would be in the very first section. And then once you continue walking to St. John Pied de Port, here the terrain goes quite low, so it's quite flat. You will need some moderate fitness in order to do it, basically because of the first stage. And you will have pretty different landscapes, and because you will be walking by dormant volcanoes, some vineyards also. Do not forget to taste the wine there. And you will be walking by a lot of romantic small villages in France. So this one is it's really nice in terms of that type of places, right? Then this is the type of landscape that you will see. This is in Le Puy. This might be the hardest portion of the place that you will walk. This should be in the very first section. This will be the most difficult terrain that you will walk by. Then it's a normal terrain. This is part of the landscape that you will see. This is a small village, a small market in a village. And this is some other part of the trail that you will see. As you can see here, not sure if you're able to see this, but the Camino here, it can be marked not only with a yellow arrow, but with two lines, one red and one white. So you can also find it this way here. This is another village, one of the romantic villages that you will walk by, and there's a lot more in all this Camino. Okay, this is of course another view from one of the sections. Well, not sure again if you're planning to do this um, Camino, but please feel free to add it in the chat and give us your comment or something, okay? Well, moving on, we have the Camino de Invierno, which has two different stages that goes from Ponferrada to Santiago. This is the full Camino, but you can divide it in two. You can do Ponferrada to Monforte and Monforte to Santiago. It has also a lot of Roman influences. You have different bridges that you will be crossing, small towns. And as you can see here in the altitude map, in the terrain map, it's more hilly, but it's doable. So don't panic if you see that the terrain is hilly or that it has some altitude or something, because they are all doable. And if you're hesitant about that, you can send us an email or you can contact us, and we'll be able to help you and to give you all the necessary information for you to be well trained enough for you to start and to finish the Camino. Okay. This is the type of view that you will be able to, the type of landscape that you will see in this Camino. This is a milestone with some snow here, and the yellow arrow, of course. As you can see, it is well marked. This is part of the trail that you will be walking by if you decide to do this section. And this is also in another season, another landscape that you will be walking by. Well, moving on, we have the Camino dos Faros, which it starts in Malpica and ends in Finisterre. It's called Camino dos Faros because you will be passing by different coastal towns with a lot of different um, lighthouses, such as the one in Finisterre, right? This one, it is more complicated to do. You will need more a better fitness level. Basically, because the terrain it has more loose rocks and it's more hilly, as you can see here. For example, from one moment to another, you have different peaks in the altitude map. It's more complicated not because of the altitude, but because of the type of terrain, right? You will kind of walk over different beaches and some rocky path, right? It's not that you will be walking over the road or over a boardwalk, right? This is the type of landscape that you will see, one of the lighthouses that you will see. This is the part of the landscape. Okay. Well, moving on. What to expect when you travel with us? Well, first and mainly, connect with nature. Despite the route that you decide to do, try to connect with the, the route that you're doing. Depending on the season that you're doing, try to connect with the places you're in. Try to enjoy every little step that you are doing in the Camino, and try to enjoy it. Oh, I see here, Isabel, that you're planning the the Camino de Invierno for this spring or for the next year. You can write it later, but that's good to know. Also, what else to expect from us? We encourage all the passengers to make friends for life, or at least for the time that you will be doing the trail. If you're planning on doing the Camino on your own, take into account that there's a lot of other pilgrims along the way. So if you're hesitant about doing it or not doing it alone, for sure you will meet people around the different routes, around the different stages, in the same accommodation that you will be in. So you will meet a lot of other people there. Okay. I see some raised hands. Ian Wimble, you raised your hand. I'm not sure if you want to ask the question here in the chat, so I can move on and then I can go back to that. I can see here, Marcy, that you hiked the Portuguese coastal and you loved it because it's really lovely. Basically, most of the people who have done that route, most of them loved it because it's it's cool, it's easy, and you have a really landscape to to view, right? I'm going to move on with the presentation. As I was saying before, what to expect when you do the Camino. Connect with the nature and also with your inner self. I recommend that. Makes friends for life and eat the local food. I think that I've said this before. Eat the local food, taste the local wine, taste the local spirit, right? And try to live full the experience of the Camino. Not only the walking, but everything that it's around you. These are the different accommodation types that we have: hostel, pensiones, and the comfort type. The one that it's most requested, it's the one that you see here, that it says hotel and rural houses. This one has a mix. It's in average a three-star hotels accommodation, and you kind of have both. You have modern hotels and you have some rural houses that used to be old buildings that now are redesigned into hotels with all the amenities by that a hotel has, basically. And then you have another option that you can select the paradores or some other luxury hotel depending on the availability of the route. Okay, these are the type of accommodation that we have here. As you can see, we have some modern, well designed hotels that we work with. We have a lot of suppliers in all of the towns. We always try to make the ends meet, so the hotel meets your needs. This the hotel looks one that we worked with in Santiago. This is the Hotel Ferramenteiro in Porto Marin. As you can see, it has a really nice view. And here you can see some other views of the hotel, some other pictures, for you to have like a better idea of the type of accommodation that we work with. Okay, moving on with the training. This is quite a frequently asked question by many of the passengers. We have a training plan. We usually send this to the passengers. You can find this once you decide to make the booking with us. You will find this on your client area, and if not, you can also, if beforehand, you can find it in our website. The different training plans for the cycling and the walking. We have different levels, and it's planned for you to do it to start it at least 2 months ahead of your trip. And as you can see, you have 30 minutes training. It starts from the 30 minutes to 2 hours, right? And it makes a little bit of both of cardio and strength. And of course, we always suggest, if you're doing the cycling or the walking, depending on the route, we try to encourage the passengers to combine the different terrains, right? One flat terrain, one more hilly, and to be changing that, right? Of course, we always recommend the passengers to have the correct hiking shoes or boots for you, depending on the route that you will be doing. Okay. These are some frequent questions that we have. Um, what is the best time to do the Camino? Well, the most popular months would be May, June, and September. However, the most popular, the you can choose any of the route in between March to late October, right? But this will depend on the route that you decide to do. If you want to go in a popular month or not, if you want a quieter route or if you want a quieter month, and or if you want um, a lower temperature in the spring or in the summer. So we always, when we are talking with the passengers, we always request this information to be provided to us so we can make the ends meet, and we can suggest you the best timing for the route that you prefer to do, right? Of course, this on our website you will have the weather map, the altitude map, a forecast. It's also there. I will be showing you that. This is what you will see. For example, this is the Portuguese way from Tui to Santiago, and here you can see the off season or the low season from November to March. The good times to do this section that you can see it in this color in the light blue, and the popular months May, June, and September. And here you can check the temperature month by month. The temperature is an average, right? And you can see this forecast. You can ask any of us. You can ask me. You can ask my colleagues. If you send us an email about you can ask us about the future weather, and we'll be able to send you this so you can have at least an idea, and you can start thinking about planning your trip and taking into consideration about what type of clothes to take and everything. Okay, if this fits what you have in mind. Okay. And here, moving on to what to pack. Well, we usually we have the luggage transfers, and we usually take care of the luggage transfer. However, there's a lot of pilgrims that decide to carry their own luggage. They usually have a big backpack for that. But here the packing list, we have a suggested packing list that can also be found in our website. It's quite dynamic. You can select your gender, and you can the website will be showing you what type of clothes to take to pack with you. And here, as you can see in the list, you have like three different columns. One is what to carry on the luggage that will be transferred daily, and what to carry with you on your daily backpack, right? Here it's really important this the weight of the baggage of the luggage that you will carry with you. Try not to carry more than 10 kilos, because more than that will be quite heavy for a daily walk, for a 20-kilometer walk. If you have one longer day, it will be not that easy to carry, right? Take into account that the luggage transfer has a maximum weight allowance, which is 20 kilos in Spain. It's maximum one per passenger, and in France it's limited to 13 kilos per person. Take into account that if you decide to attach any other item that will be loose to the bag, it will be considered as an additional bag, right? Of course, here in the third column, you will see that we have added some tips here, such as, I don't know, taking some extra hat or sunscreen or that type of things, right? Well, moving on. This is what we will be offering you in every route that you decide to do. We have the holiday pack, as I said at the beginning of the webinar. On the holiday pack, we will hand you some physical and some digital things. The physical thing will be the pilgrim passport and the luggage tags and the neck buff. This will be sent via post for all the pilgrims that live in Ireland. But if you do not live in Ireland, this will be sent via post to the first accommodation that you will be staying in. You will receive it once you get to the accommodation. Once you do the check-in, you ask for the holiday pack from Follow the Camino. That should be under your name, and they should hand you like a small envelope with these things inside. Um, of course, we also have the guidebook or the road book. If you're doing a complete route, such as, I don't know, you decide to do the complete Portuguese route, you will receive the guidebook. Or if you decide to do the complete French way from St. John to Santiago, you will receive the physical guidebook. If not, if you decide to do only one section, either section, it doesn't matter which one, you will have your road book in a PDF format that you can download directly from the customer area or from the Follow the Camino app. The Follow the Camino app has all the maps that you will be walking by, the detailed walking notes, and in the map you will also have not only the trail, the GPX track trail that you will have that you will walk, but all the hotels pinned and marked there, and they're the GPX track. It's personalized and it's custom made for each of you of the passengers, right? Of course, as I said a couple of slides before, we work with a lot of different accommodations. We will bring you 24/7 assistance in the case that you know that you need it. We have the emergency phone number that works for you if you get to need any assistance for the trip, or if there's something that you are concerned about, you can call us. And of course, we are the first Camino tour operator ever, so we kind of know about the routes and the trails. If there's some issue regarding the language barrier, you can contact us and we'll be able to help you. We have a multilingual team here on this side, and we'll be able to give you a hand on that. Um, if you need, for example, to add any transfer, any pickup from the airport or something, you can let us know and we'll be able to help you out. We'll be able to add it to your itinerary or to walk you through where from where to take this transfer or this bus or this train. So we'll be giving you as much as information as we can. Okay. Well, we received a certification on September 2023 as a B Corp. The being a B Corp corporation means that we try to be as sustainable as we can. Of course, that it's not only for the passengers, but also internally. We try to work um, with sustainable partners, suppliers that have the same spirit as we have. And of course, internally, we do that and we try to improve it every year. Um, so we can continue committing and being well recognized for all the effort that we put on this. Any doubt so far or no? I see that you're writing a lot, but I don't have enough time or enough eyes to read and to present this. For all of you that are participating this in this webinar today, we have a 50 euro certificate, a gift certificate that we will grant you for the next bookings. So if you're planning to do, or if you are thinking of doing the Camino, just send us an email and let us know that you have participated here, and we'll grant you the 50 euros discount for your future trip. Okay. And last but not least, we also will be giving a free airport transfer up to 250 euros for the first 10 bookings that are done after this this webinar, right? The thing is that you need to participate in this webinar, and then you can ask us for the airport transfer, and you will be granted for this if you're the first 10, if you're among the first 10. Okay. And well, these are the main of the basic main of point of contacts for us. These are our different phone numbers. You have different lines. You can email us so we can send you some extra information. Or even if you have some doubts about a particular route or a particular thing, you can send us an email and we can start getting to know each other. Or you can also book a virtual meeting and we can arrange that. And it will be like this one, like this webinar, but personalized. So feel free to reach out for us and to inquire about your your future trips or the doubts that you have or anything. Okay. So we're almost there. Is there any questions that you would like to go over? I'm going to look at this other screen so I can read you better. I see this raised hand. Let me see, just 1 second. Just 1 minute. I'm going to search here for this. I did the coastal starting in Oya, but I'm interested in doing the whole coastal route from beginning to end, and I'm interested where to start exactly. Okay, it's Jessica, right? I know that my colleague replied to you, but if you're willing to do the Portuguese coastal, you can start in Porto. The Portuguese coastal has two different stages. Let me go back to the presentation so I can show you where it is. Just 1 second. I'm going to show you where it starts. You can start in Porto, and from Porto you can walk Porto to Oia. And then if you want to still do Oya to Santiago, you can still do so. But yes, you can do that. That is the section that is missing for you. So you already did the this one, right? No, sorry. Let me go back to this one. Porto to Santiago. It would be this one. This would be the section. This is the Portuguese coastal. As you can see, it's pretty easy to do. I know that you've done Oya to Santiago, but if you're willing to do Porto to Oya, you can do so, and you will get to know Porto. I would highly recommend to add an extra night in Porto because there's a lot of places to visit there. I'm going to move on to another question. How easy it will be to Marcy. I'm going to answer this. How easy would it be to bike the Camino Primitivo? For the biking routes, we only offer a few routes. Not all of the routes are prepared or have the infrastructure for the the cycling tour, right? And there's a lot of accommodations that do not allow you to go into with a bike or something like that. So we only offer the Portuguese and the French way, and then you have the challenging one, which is longer in terms of cycling distances. But it's unfortunately the Primitivo can also only be done by walking. If you're planning to do the Primitivo, I will encourage you to do it walking. It has a lot of um, as I said before, it has a lot of historical and Roman influences. So it's quite nice if you're planning to do that, if it's on your mind. But well, you can send us an email and maybe we can send you some extra information for you to know it at least, and to see the other routes that we offer for the cycling. Okay. Um, I'm checking on the pinned question. Just 1 second. Yes, training recommendations. I'm trying to read as fast as I can, right? Training recommendations. Yes, as I said before, we encourage the passengers to start training at least 2 weeks, 2 months, sorry, before the start of their trip, but try different terrains. That will depend on the type of route that you're thinking in doing. Um, you're planning to do, for example, the Portuguese coastal, which is mostly boardwalk and it's quite flat, you don't need to be super trained. Seriously, most of the routes are doable, right? If you're planning to do a longer trip, yes, of course, you will need more training and you will need to practice in different terrains, different distances, and everything. One here, just 1 second. Here I can read David. I plan to do the Camino in late summer, 3 legs. Lourdes to St. John, to Camino Frances, and to Santiago to finish there. Oh, that's a nice one. So you have plenty of time to do that. Because you will need, like, if it's 36 days for the full French, and you will start from Lourdes to St. John, I think that adds like, I don't know how many days. I need to count them. But yes, we can make the lodging from Lourdes to St. John. Yes, of course. We can help you with that. You can send us an email and if we can make it, we will address you to where you can find this. But we'll be able to help you on this. So no worries. Do not hesitate to send us an email or contact us back um, for any doubt that you might have. I'm not sure about the period of the travel. Yes, of course, you can book now, but I would like to know which type of route were you interested in doing, what type of route, so we can address you a little better. But yes, we actually are taking bookings for 2025 already, and some for 2026. So take that into account. Know that for 2025 the prices are will go up. So if you're planning to do it, don't miss it, because you will get some good prices if you do it now, basically. Uh, Thanks. You enjoyed your service. You enjoyed our services. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Uh, I'm trying to go over some. The literal way, Robert. We do not offer the literal way. It's like in the middle of the Portuguese and the inland way. We do not offer the literal way itself. But we can offer you the Portuguese coastal or the regular Portuguese inland route. Let me see if I can show you in another different map. Just 1 second. In the previous, this would be this section, but let me go back to this. Just 1 minute. Just 1 second. Okay. Yes, here in this map, here, Robert, you can see. No, not this one. Not this one. Here, you can see in this section that this is the from Porto to Santiago. You have the inland, and from Porto to Santiago, you also have the coastal one. And I know the literal, it's like in the middle. That is not the one that we offer, but maybe if you have an itinerary planned for you because you started doing some research, you can send us your itinerary and make it, and maybe we can make it work with yours and with our route, and maybe we can offer you something that works, or at least you can have a look at that. Okay. Um, Here, Mihaela, you're planning to do the okay, okay. You're planning to do the English way plus Finisterre way. That's good. No, you can book it all together, so you can have the itinerary and all the pricing and all the stops, and you can start thinking about all the um, all the days that you will be walking. But please do not hesitate to send us an email, and we'll be able to help you plan that. Okay? Is a certificate awarded to walk from Santiago to Finisterre? Let me see this. Okay, we're almost there with the timing. I appreciate you all for participating in this webinar. We're kind of running out, we're getting short of time. Please, if you have any other doubt or if I haven't answered all of your questions, please do not hesitate to contact us through the email. You can email us at info@followthecamino.com, and we'll be able to help you out with all of the questions that you have. Remember, no question is a silly question. So if you have many questions, you can write them there, and we'll be able to help you. Or if you want to, again, if you want to book a virtual appointment, we can also do it. And in the bottom of the emails that you will receive from any of us, you can also book um, um, sorry, the a 15-minute call. So maybe we can arrange another call. Okay. Thanks again all for joining. Do not forget about the vouchers, the 50 euro discount, and the free transfer vouchers that we have. So bear that in mind. The booking needs to be made, and you need to be the first then. So do not hesitate about that. Thanks again, and thank you for joining. We look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward for all your bookings. Okay, thank you.